Hello everyone. I was working on these harmonics. I'm sitting here with Tilly. She's snoring. I don't know how this lesson's going to go with a snoring dog. I think she's tired. She had a big day. She probably ate too much too. Anyways, I thought today we'd talk about harmonics. So I don't know if you know how to do harmonics. Some of you probably do. But they play the best at the 5th fret, the 7th fret, and the 12th fret. Especially the 12th fret. 12th fret, you can just get them to ring. Basically, what I'm doing here is I'm plucking the string while one of my fingers is hovering on the 12th fret itself. Just hovering over it and then lifting off. Just barely touching it and lifting off. And it gets it to ring out. It sounds so good. That's called a harmonic. Some people will check their intonation by it. They'll play, and then they'll play the harmonic. If the guitar isn't set up right, it won't sound that. It'll sound off. So, but that's the harmonics at the 12th fret. You can also play them at the 7th fret, but it's a little more difficult. But it's there, and you can hear it. And the 5th fret. Again, it's a little more difficult, but it's a little harder than the 7th fret, but you still can do it. But it's always nice and clean at that 12th fret. You can also tap and get to harmonics. You hear that? Just what I'm doing is I'm tapping onto the 12th fret. Or you can tap more than one string at a time. This sounds great when you're chording. So yeah, you can tap, on while you're chording, but tapping works nice. But what I wanted to focus a little more on is actually playing that string and doing this harmonic, but doing it with one hand. That's a little more difficult. And I'm just going to show you at the 12th fret what I'm doing. So basically, I'm holding my fingers like this, and I try to space them as much as I can because you get more sound out of it. But I lose accuracy the wider that gets. So anyways, I'm pinching. It's about like, what is that? About 2.5 inches maybe. But my thumb plucks. My thumb is what's is plucking the string, and this finger is just hovering. In this case, on the 12th fret. And if I was going to do it on the 7th fret or the 5th. So you can see it can be done, but we're holding it. This is the finger that's hovering and lifting off, and the thumb is doing the picking, okay? So that takes a little bit of working at. Now here, let's add a little more complexity to it, because you hear that sound after I pluck it? It almost sounds like a little harp sound. Hear that? Now what I'm doing there is I'm still using that same method, this pointer finger's hovering, and lifting off while the thumb plucks. But I'm taking my ring finger and I'm plucking a string right after. See, that thumb plucks, that finger plucks. So, and in this case, it's plucking a different string. So it's as I move down. When I get down here, it has to pluck the same string. Okay, so that's another way to do that. Now let me add a little bit more to this. And I'm so sorry that she's snoring. I won't wake her up though. I'll just let her snore. That has got to be the noisiest. Tilly, do you have to snore like that? Are you okay? All right. Thank you. We can't hear ourselves over here. Okay, go back to sleep. Okay. All right. So let me add a little more to that. So we know we can get these harmonics on the 12th fret, the 7th, and the 5th. Oops. And it gets a little more difficult as you move to the 7th and the 5th. In fact, the 5th is the hardest to get the sound out of. It has to be really correct. It's got to be exact. So it's common, especially for me when I'm playing, if I try to grab a harmonic up there, a lot of times I don't get it right. But if it's 7th fret and this 12th fret seem to work really well with me, okay? Especially the 12th fret. It works really well, okay? Now, here's one more thing to add to this. So let's say we're playing a G chord up here. In this case, we're playing a G sus, okay? Meaning that I've got the G chord formed. My pinky finger, though, is on the 3rd fret, 1st string, and I'm putting my ring finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. Okay? So I'm extending out that G chord a little bit, called the G sus. It's nice because it goes good if you just move these two over 2 strings. It makes a C. Okay, all right. So back to the G. Okay, so we're going to make the G that way. Now pay attention to the formation that I'm using here. For instance, you'll notice that my middle finger is on the 3rd fret, right? So there it is on the 3rd fret. My first finger is on the 2nd fret. My ring finger is on the 3rd fret, and my pinky finger is on the 3rd fret. Okay. Now, if I came down here to do the harmonics at the 12th fret, I can't. It won't do it because these fingers have now displaced the strings. So I have to compensate for what I'm doing here. And to compensate, I have to think about what fret this is and how many frets it is away from the nut, okay? In this case, this is 3 frets away from the nut. So that means to play the harmonic, I have to come down here to the 12th fret. If I'm playing the harmonics on the 12th fret, I have to come down here to the 12th fret and move 3 frets away from the 12th fret because that's how much it's displaced. So there we go. I can find it there. I can't find it on 12th fret, but I can find it here. Plays really well. And this one here is on the 2nd fret. So again, I got to displace it 2 frets, displace 2 frets away. So we play this one at the 3rd. This one at the 3 frets away. And then we go to the 2 frets away. So that's how that we can do that. And then there are 2 open strings, right? So you'll go back to the 12th fret for those 2 strings. And then these two are on the 3rd fret, so got to come down here 3 frets away. Okay, so it sounds like this. Right. So that's how that's done. If you're playing the D chord, the same thing. You have to think about where it's displaced. In this case, it's 1st string, it's 2 frets away. 2nd string, it's 3 frets away. And the 3rd string is 2 frets away. So we look at the 12th fret, we're 2 frets, 3 frets, and 2 frets. And that's the harmonics while you're fretting the D shape. Okay. And of course, if they're open, you can still play the harmonics at the 12th fret because you're not displacing them with a chord shape. All right. Does that make sense? I hope so. So it's something that's what I wanted to show you today. It takes a little work, but there's different ways to do it. So you can hover with one finger here and do your harmonic. You can tap. It's really nice when you're chording. And so you can, and then of course you can pluck it using this 2-finger method with one hand. And then you can add that harp sound by plucking a string after the thumb. And it gives you that sound. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it right there. And so I noticed that I think I'm like 35 away from my 10,000 mark. I'm getting really close. I'm thinking that maybe by tomorrow it might happen. I put a short out today thinking might be able to get it to move a little faster. We'll see what happens. But anyways, I don't know what I'm going to do when I hit 10,000. I'll have to hit another goal so that I'll have something to pester everybody about. And okay. But that's it, and I thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in this world.